hurts. Fucking life sucks, everything hurts.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Everything Hurts. I'm so fucking excited today because Jessie Johnson's here.
Air conditioner's on, my bad.
Oh, fuck, the air conditioner's on. Brian's bad, everybody.
Terrible.
All right, we good?
10
It takes a
bamboo
while
lashings.
to turn off. It really fizzles out there. Okay, there we go. All right, in case you didn't hear me, it's Everything Hurts. Jessie Johnson is here. I'm really excited because, like, if you know, you know. You know? OG fans know. We used to host a podcast together called Screw Ups, and now she's here on Everything Hurts, and I'm really excited.
Brian didn't know.
Brian didn't know.
He just looked at me like, oh, yeah.
I was trying to be engaging.
IYK. And Tom Goss isn't here today. Resident hot slut Tom Goss is not here. So we replaced him with a little bit less of a hot slut.
Yeah, I know.
Ramsey Badawi.
I got some real nice tits to fill.
Yeah. Tom goes shirtless. Ramsey buttons his shirt up to the neck.
I'm wearing a turtleneck underneath this right now, just in case it fails.
A turtleneck and then body hair that is equivalent of a turtleneck, probably.
I'm gonna let you guys have this one, but I don't have that bad of body hair. I'm just gonna say this right now. There's always a misconception because I'm Middle Eastern that it's a mess. It's an average amount of body hair.
I mean, we can prove it on this show right now.
Well, that's gonna be.
We've already debunked some Jew myths on this show.
Well, you're gonna have to work harder to get me to stop believing those Jew myths.
Jew myths.
Brian thought that Jews had to mail their comeback to Israel.
Honestly, that seems about on par with what happens there.
Because he heard it on Opie and Anthony.
Oh, they're pretty reliable news, right?
For
Yeah,
race
I agree.
stuff? Yeah, for race stuff especially.
Yeah.
All the race science that happens on that show.
I feel like any misconceptions that Brian has about Middle Eastern people, you've probably debunked already, right?
I've tried.
Proving them.
It's not true at all. I've tried really hard, and they seem to have gone the opposite direction with Brian. He believes them more now.
Yeah, we had to. Oh, did I tell you? My boyfriend made me tell that story to a bunch of like Orthodox Jews. One being a rabbi, and I had to. He was like, tell them what you asked me, and I was like, no. And he was like, no, tell them. It's like 5 Orthodox Jews in this like kosher pizza place. One's a rabbi, and yeah, I was like. My friend thought that maybe you guys mailed your cum back to Israel. They thought it was hilarious.
Only the Hasids. Yes, I didn't. Not like fucking Woody Allen.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not the craziest thing I've ever heard. Like, it's like, okay, you can't eat pork, you fuck through a sheet, you know.
Also, they don't fuck through a sheet.
We debunked that too.
They don't fuck through
They
the
do
sheet?
not fuck through a sheet.
And Larry David taught me that, so
What, he fucked you?
through a sheet.
Oh, so they do fuck.
No. It's in
I'll just
Curb Your
say-
Enthusiasm.
If
They
I
fuck through a sheet.
if
on
I
Curb.
fucked Larry David, I would also fuck through a sheet.
Yeah. That myth was started by one ugly Jew.
Yeah, I think it's just ugly people.
As he's fucking you, it's bump, bump, bump.
It's just that was just Hasidic Jews who like hate fucking their wives, and they're like, no, we have to fuck through this sheet.
Jessie brings up a good point. Getting fucked by Larry David, it must be hard to get that out of your head. Like, it's got to be a point where you're like, I'm fucking Larry David. Like, you got to be singing the song.
It's the
Yeah.
most enthusiastic you would want to be is during sex, but with him, I think you would have to curb it.
You would have to curb it just a little bit.
And afterwards, as his dick is like deflating, it would just be like do 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 do.
Deflating.
Your dick kind of deflates after sex, you know. It takes a while to go down.
Nicole's boyfriend's really old. So he has like a pump.
It flies around the room like a balloon.
She's fucking one of the Animaniacs. I love it.
Where'd it go?
I was just thinking about the Animaniacs the other day. That was such a good fucking show.
A really good show. Like
Yeah.
still holds up. I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm mentally challenged.
I had that like German song stuck in my head, like do dun 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 oh Dejana something schnitzel pants. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a well-written show. I think a lot of good writers actually wrote on that show.
Yeah.
Adam Carolla being one of them.
Can't drive through Burbank with that Warner Brothers water tower and not think of it.
And not
Yeah.
think of it. Yeah, it's iconic.
It's one of those things where you watch things as a kid and then you don't realize how smart they are until you get older and watch it
Yeah.
as an adult.
It's like our generation's like SpongeBob. Although I watched SpongeBob until I was like 24.
Fucking great.
Great show.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
if
so
you
funny.
get any government services, you watch SpongeBob. It's always playing
Yes.
everywhere. When I'm getting food stamps or like anything like that, it's SpongeBob in the room.
It's the one thing everybody there can agree on: the children of the children of the deadbeats and the deadbeats themselves.
That's great.
I've been getting messages from you guys about my consumption of energy drinks on this show because I've got a bang like between my legs like a dick on every show. It's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
I notice in every clip. It's just like I have a bang boner.
That rules.
But yeah, I'm getting a lot of messages. Some women get creepy DMs from creepy men. I just get like concerned dads being like, "You should drink water."
Well, as the great Ramsey Badawi once said, energy drinks are antidepressants for poor people.
You know, it's antidepressants for people whose dads taught them depression was gay,
Yeah.
and that's why I love them.
Yeah, my dad, and it's funny because I am a woman, so you'd think I wouldn't care if
Prove it.
things were gay.
Oh, really living the producer role.
I know this is 2003 right here.
We do get pretty Howard Stern on this podcast.
Big fan. Big fan.
But you'd think I wouldn't care about things being gay, but when I was a little girl, I did not. I wanted to be a straight boy, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a gay guy.
I've picked up from your podcast that probably has something to do with you thought your father would like you more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
for sure.
You're
Yeah.
like, you want to play catch, Dad?
Yeah.
Well,
I
fuck
did. We
chicks.
played catch all the time, and he would throw it like as fast as he could at my face until I wasn't afraid of it anymore. And if I would flinch, he would make me do push-ups.
Whoa.
This is when I started playing softball because he just didn't want me to be a little bitch, you know.
Yeah.
But
Damn.
it worked. I still wasn't very good. You'd think with a dad like that, I'd be like really good, but I wasn't. I wasn't very good. Just like disappointed him all the time.
Really scary. Wow.
He's like teaching you how to change the oil and buying you hustlers.
Yeah.
Trying to line up a threesome with her.
Is that what your dad did with you?
I wish. I would take that any day of the week over what he did to me.
Oh, jeez.
He just wanted a twosome with me, unfortunately.
Wait, is that real?
No.
Oh. I was like,
If it were, that's a terrible follow-up question.
am I about to learn that Ramsey fucked his dad?
Yeah, Ramsey fucked his dad. His dad didn't fuck him.
It happens
exactly.
to people.
I was the top.
I heard on Opie and Anthony that Palestinians fuck their dads.
It's true. That's why they keep us in cages over there.
Nothing surprises me with comedians now. Like the backstories, they're crazy, you know? So you never know.
Yeah, I'll tell you who forced me to fuck him later, but we'll do it off the air.
Oh, okay.
Patreon?
That's a great paywall right there. Find out who was molested by who. Great little behind the wall segment.
For $1.99.
No, molestation is bad. No one should do it.
No.
I feel like I have to say that on this podcast because make a lot of jokes here, and I have to go back and say that molestation shouldn't do it.
No,
you know,
you shouldn't.
For the literal Larrys.
Yeah.
for the literal layers. Yeah,
I hope someone
never heard
watched.
that term. You know what's funny is I can't remember who it was, but they posted like just the most like fucking sarcastic joke online, and there's just like hundreds of people who just it flew right like they just don't get humor, like it doesn't even register in their brain that something could be a joke.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's insane
People
to me.
are getting mad offended right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like working at the store, I see like it just
Oh, does
the-
it happen more at the store?
more and more every day. Like the past few days, Theo Vaughn made some joke about Jews. I didn't even hear what it was, but this guy in the back just yelled, "Anti-Semite," and I looked back at him and I was like, And he looked at me like, what? And then I was like, yeah, you can't heckle. And he's like, then give me my check right now. And I was like, fabulous, because that's what we have to drop the check when to kick someone out. So I was like, all right, this is handling itself. And then the guy got his check from the server, but he demanded to get his last round before he left. And I was telling Daniel about it, and he was like, well, that guy's probably Jewish for sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say what was the tip, but
Well, here's the thing. He probably wasn't, honestly, because I don't, like, the Jews I know just don't get offended that easy. They don't. And like the people that I've seen just get offended in general are not the actual race or religion of the people.
But do you remember when Larry David did a concentration camp joke on SNL?
I don't.
Oh boy. As Jewish as that guy is, they went after him hard.
You know who it is? Israeli, like, apologist, Zionist type Jews.
Yeah.
These are the ones who get offended.
The problem is it's not the problem. Like, there's not a problem.
No, keep going. I like where we're
There's
going
not
here.
a problem with the fact that there are still Holocaust survivors alive. That's not a problem. That's really good. I'm glad they're still alive, you know.
Better you're talking problems than solutions.
But like there's people who are still just like lived through that, and then their kids like have generational trauma or whatever, and it's that.
It's like there's a thing with it's like the people who actually went through it. Well, first of all, most of them are out of it at this point. But those who did go through it can have a sense of humor about it. At least I've seen in my experience. There's like a group of people who kind of wishes they went through it. Like, you know what I mean? Like there are people like if you go to Orange County, you'll see that people who get most sort of offended about like about blue collar stuff are people who wish they were blue collar workers, but they're actually not blue collar workers.
So you think there's people who wish they went through the Holocaust?
I know Palestinian people, and I'll say this from a Palestinian perspective, just to keep your show out of hot water, who like they're the most mad about Palestinian shit, but they've never been there before. They don't speak Arabic. They don't have any real connection to it. So their anger to it is sort of the way that they can kind of grasp onto things.
Sure.
So I think that there's like a group of people who gets mad about things like that. And it's because they're like, this is my only attachment to this, is being mad about this.
Well, it's also kind of like when a female comic on stage will make a joke about getting raped, or even a male comic, you know, everyone can get raped.
Sure.
But
By the way, that's a T-shirt for sale. Everything hurts.
everyone can get raped. Everyone can get raped.
Spin-off podcast.
They the baby onesies.
Good for dogs, too, which is nice.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's sad to Jessie.
No, I'd get one for my dog. She loves wearing clothes.
But then someone in the audience will get mad, like, for rape victims, and it's like the person telling the joke is telling a joke about their own experience, and someone's getting mad about it, and it's like, I'm fine, so you should be fine with it, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know what that's all about. I do think there is a thing though where people who haven't like gone through much in their lives like kind of do wish they went through trauma.
Yeah.
Because they're boring.
I don't know if they wish it. It's just that if you haven't been through a lot, then that's your scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like somebody getting your order wrong is
Sure.
a tragedy.
Right.
You know, because you don't have any barometer for so that's why you're just outraged all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're bored, and they wish they were part of something.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of that.
It's like
kind
Mark
of stuff.
Wahlberg with 9/11. Remember?
Yeah, when he said
He said if he were on that plane, it would have gone different.
I think it would have. I think am I wrong to say I think it would have gone? I think they would have been like, is that fucking Mark Wahlberg?
No.
How did he mean that?
Like
He would have stopped the terrorists on whatever plane he was on.
Oh
Yeah,
my
what did you
God.
think it meant?
I don't know.
He's like, we would have gone
it
3
could go
towers
through-
down.
It could have gone any number of ways. I don't know.
We wouldn't have crashed in Pennsylvania if I was on that plane. We would have gone right to the Pentagon.
I thought he meant like the end result would still be the same, but like he would have kept them calmer or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
guess you're right. That could have been different.
Did
kinda.
people? No, that's a stupid question. I'm not going to ask that question. Now I'm realizing how stupid it is. You know, like right when you're about to ask a question, you're like, that's the dumbest question that you could ever ask. Anyway,
Never really thought about anything I've ever said before I said it. So
I was about. Okay,
I'm not sure if I know what you're saying.
I'll just say it because I'm I'll just say it.
It's a safe space.
I know it's a fucking idiotic thing to ask, but I was asking if anyone like documented on the plane what was
What
happening.
happened? Yeah.
Like there would be any existing.
That's where the Let's Roll guy came
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
Remember that? Jesse could probably weigh in on this.
The
What's
Let's
it?
Roll guy?
Remember that's what the movie the guy who allegedly took down the Pennsylvania airplane.
I
he
don't
te-
know that one.
Oh, he texted his wife, "Let's roll."
Yeah.
And because there's this myth that I think it's a myth that they took down that plane in Pennsylvania and drove it into the ground. I think the military shot it down personally.
That's what I hear.
I would have more faith in my government if they did. I think that's a smart
Yeah.
move. But apparently he texted his wife or something, "Let's roll," and then went and then took down the terrorists.
And they maneuvered it into kind of propaganda, like, oh, like we're Americans, like you can't. I don't know what the
I think there's a
propaganda
book
is.
called "Let's Roll."
Yeah, I'm still not sure what the propaganda is. Like we'll
we'll-
crash a plane down.
We'll die before we let you
We'll let you come after us.
fly
I
a
see.
plane
Yeah,
into Georgia.
Maybe she was like, "Hey, do you want to get dinner later?" And he was like
Yeah, let's
writing
roll.
"Let's Roll," and
Yeah,
and then the terrorists came out,
Right.
Yeah.
I like
As
Jesse's
gay.
theory.
Came out as gay.
and then came out as gay.
All right, this is where we cross the line for me. Those terrorists were not gay. They went to a strip club the night before. So I don't know how you could be gay and go to a strip club the night before.
Wait, what happened? We lost your camera.
We lost me or you?
No, we lost Nicole. What happened?
Oh no.
This will be fun.
It's the government.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
I-
trying to
that's
shut us
stri-
down. No,
They heard
no,
us.
it's the terrorists. They don't want
Oh,
to.
good.
The
They don't
truth
want
out.
us to know that there's gay terrorists.
Yeah, see, as soon as you said gay terrorists, it went out.
Allah struck me down.
Yeah. Do you think? Okay.
They're like they're still gonna do the crime, but they're pissed off
do you
about their
think?
afterlife
Do you think
with
they
the
would they
virgin.
let them? Would they let them be a part of the organization if they were gay? If they were like, I
No.
want to do this, but
Hard no.
I am gay.
What?
No.
I
Hold
mean,
on.
that's a mission that I
Hold
think
on, yeah.
suits
Yeah,
both interests.
because they're like we're getting rid of you.
It's a fair
And
point.
also,
You're right. You're right. I was speaking a little. That was
Little
the inner
fast.
Muslim in me.
but they could be like, we don't want you like meeting God and telling them that like one of us is gay.
I think if you
I
talk,
don't know how this works.
Muslims have really have come around to. They're not pro gay stuff, but they are like, listen, some people are broken and they think that they want to fuck guys, but the key is you just don't fuck the guys. You just jack off to it or whatever, but you
Yeah,
don't
but-
actually go through with it. So
Sure.
if you rolled up and you were like, listen, I'm gay as hell.
Yeah.
I don't,
Listen,
listen, I'm gay as Jahannam, as you would say in Arabic. But I'm not fucking anybody, and I'd like to give my life for the cause. I think they would take you in on
Yeah.
that one. But you have to promise to not fuck any guys when you get to heaven.
Right. Well, they don't get the 72 virgins then, or maybe they would.
Maybe they would. Maybe when you're in, I think when you get to heaven, all your earthly problems are gone.
yeah.
So you think being gay is an earthly problem?
to them.
To them.
To them.
To
or,
them.
or they get there with the virgins and they just do each other's hair.
Yeah, they have a good time. They hang out.
Yeah.
The virgins are like, oh my God, this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what's so weird? The virgin thing that like promising them 72 virgins implies that people are just fucking in heaven.
All day long.
Like that's just what people are doing.
Even though that's an earthly problem, is to want to fuck.
They're fucking virgins. Where do they get all these virgins?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I imagine heathens. or-
Abortions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like were just people that were never born.
I picture that they're looking at the hot chicks that die, and they're like, it's almost like a bouncer at a club or like in the
Sure.
front, letting people
Yeah.
into heaven. I think if you're hot enough, you get into that mix.
The abortions they could grow up in
That's
heaven.
what I'm saying. Yeah,
they
yeah.
grow up in heaven. Like they
Yeah,
they have to be 18.
When heaven, you stop aging at 18.
Yeah.
This is what I.
you automatically go to 18 and everyone's 18 in heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everyone's fucking.
This
Yeah.
is what I imagine the conversation between the terrorists is right before they kill themselves.
They're all just like, "What do you think it's like, dude?"
You gotta get deets. You know what I mean? Like it's not just a one-time conversation.
Yeah, but how does he get the virgins there?
Is it 72 for real, or is that like a myth?
I have
Too
heard
accepted to be
that-
real.
I've heard it's not real in any capacity. I've heard there's nothing in the Quran about it, but I can't verify
Well, the fuck
either
through
way.
a sheet thing is also pretty accepted. So I feel like
I
people
think it's in
just-
that mix of
Yeah.
stuff, but I've accepted it.
It's strange because they must have conversations like that. Like they must have to like encourage each other when it gets close to time. Because our bodies as humans and our brain, we are built to want to live.
Yeah.
You know. And so like there must be something that they do to convince themselves right before they do the thing to do the thing.
In ISIS, they pop you a bump of meth. They give you.
Do they really?
Yeah, they give you these.
Okay, that
pills.
makes sense.
So I think the terrorists were. I'm willing to bet that if we looked into it, they all were doing like some kind of Adderall.
PCP.
They're doing something that we give our children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they think they're gonna live again.
Yeah.
So they're in their mind they're still living
yeah.
even when they die.
It's like a Mad Max.
But you're
when
still.
they-
Yes, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Nicole's point
I
is
live,
is
I die, I live again.
is that your body starts to get like a little, even no matter how much you know something, your body still starts to get like turn on itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why they give them those. I know for sure that they do a lot of meth in ISIS. Meth rules, dude.
That's
Solves
why
so many
that's why they're
problems.
called ICE.
Ooh,
Ah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Anyway, no, that's it. Show's over. Just trying to get to that pun, and we're out. What's up in your life, Jessie? How are you?
I'm good.
You're good?
Oh, something exciting happened last night. I did a show in Bakersfield at Bruce Gray and Kelly Ryan were there too, and we were talking, and I'm like, "Oh, you're doing a show there too?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm at the club. You're at the Cantina." And he was like giving me shit, and it was this Mexican restaurant called La Fonda. And we got there, and thank God there was like 20 people there. And when they brought me on stage, I was featuring, and everybody went wild. And they started doing like vroom, 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 vroom. And then I was like, "Do you guys know who I am?" They're like, "Yeah, we came out to see you."
Wow.
And that's the first time I've ever.
Whoa.
And I have such bad imposter syndrome. I again thought like, okay, Daniel, did you
Right.
hire
you,
these
like,
people?
got everybody
pay these
fired up.
people?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys don't know me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're like, "No, we saw you on Kill Tony," and they promoted the show well. So like they saw my name a couple weeks ago, and they all came out to the show.
Oh,
and
that's fucking awesome.
That was
Explain vroom vroom.
yeah.
so that was like a
She's
catchphrase.
jet ski.
Jet ski is my nickname, and it's kind of was made popular on Kill Tony, where like all the fans, if I hit a joke, they'd all go vroom 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 vroom.
Oh, that's fun.
So it was kind of fun to see that. And then they were like taking pictures, and then we went to In-N-Out after to eat, and a random dude was like, "Are you jet ski?" And he took a picture with me, and so I guess I'm just popping off on Bakersfield.
Yeah, that seems like
Oh,
Kill
this was in
Tony country.
Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Eat
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
The other comics who are at the club.
Yeah.
It was Bruce Gray and Kelly Ryan.
Yeah. So what? His
but-
mom and dad were there.
I
That was his
did.
drug.
I did see his parents. We met up, and yeah, his mom's super sweet. His dad was like a wall.
His dad's hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
His dad is so
he
funny.
seemed so cool, but he was just like real serious looking.
He's-
No.
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 He was
No.
in the car. We
No.
saw each other for 10 seconds.
Oh,
He's a
okay, yeah.
He's a silly
he's a
bitch.
wacky
Really?
ass dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kept trying to like make him smile, and he was just like staring at us.
Oh, he was probably fucking with you then.
Or hungry.
When
or
he met
something.
Ramsey,
He
he
had
goes,
a
"What's your
great-
name?" He goes, "Ramsey." He goes, "Come again?"
No. Best thing he goes, what he you know, white. What I love about white people from Bakersfield is they don't mince words. They don't go, "Where's your family from?" They don't go. He just goes, "What are you?" And I went Palestinian, and he went, "If you say so." Just like a great. He's just like a dude who should be wearing a captain's like a,
Yeah.
like
When
a
I-
captain's hat at all times.
When I met him, he pulled me aside and he goes, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" This was before he was dating his girlfriend Kelly. "Can I ask you a question? You think Bruce is gay?" I was like, "No, I don't think so." He's like, "He dates," and I was like, "Yeah. He he dates. You treat him like a gentleman." Yeah. And then
I would have said yes.
later on, about 15
Yeah,
about
100%.
15 minutes later, I'm walking away from him. He goes, "Where you going, hooker?"
Yeah, he's a wacky.
I like just met this man. I fucking love him.
He's a
It's
wacky
great.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, when my dad, I love dads and Arabs, white dads and Arabs,
It's a
because
confusing
when,
concept to that.
when Ramsey and I were getting some flack online, and my dad was like, "Be careful, getting into a spat with an Arab," because he was like, "They've been fighting over a shitty piece of dirt for 6,000 years. They will wage war for anything."
It's a really honest assessment of where it's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Isn't everyone fighting over shitty pieces of dirt just all the time?
Some places
point.
have water and stuff. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Brian is being incredibly unfair to Palestine right now, but we have water, but I don't know. The world,
I think he means like bodies of water. Wait.
Yeah, sweet. It's on the Mediterranean.
Is it though?
Yes. What?
I'm
Here we
kidding.
go.
I'm just kidding.
Here we go.
Does it even exist?
That is fair, but what his thing was saying was wrong.
I'm trying to give Ramsey a chance to use his new favorite term, which is gaslight. He
Oh,
says it every
yeah, I
5
love
seconds.
that.
He is gaslighting me right now.
Yeah.
Did you just learn that term?
I did just learn the term gaslighting, and I love it so much.
Didn't like an ex-girlfriend say it?
No.
That's how I learned it.
I feel like that's how every guy learns it. You were gaslighting me our whole relationship.
Yeah.
And it's after they learn it from their therapist.
Yep.
Yeah.
My
Trickles down.
Nailed it. That's my exact experience.
my most recent girlfriend is cool, or ex-girlfriend is cool, but the one before that, who would have like been the one to drop the gaslighting, she was like a crazy Republican, so there's no way she's ever gonna talk to a therapist or.
Oh right, she's crazy. Ramsey sounds real gaslighty to me.
She got you.
That was good. That was good. I walked right into it.
I'm just out here championing women, guys.
Yeah.
All men gaslight.
Yeah.
All women are perfect.
I just walked into like a woman armbar. Got it, tapping. Okay.
Ramsey was just telling us about the two women that fought at the. Not Ramsey.
I was.
Brian.
I'm Brian.
I was looking at
Brian.
Ramsey.
Yeah.
And Brian was telling us about the two women that just fought at Madison Square Garden. Did you watch that?
No, I don't watch any of the combat sports or anything like that. It's
Not
fine.
even if it's two women.
I don't know why that would be better. It actually makes me more uncomfortable.
Well, because it would just be like supporting women. Which
Yeah,
I would think you'd want to do.
That's especially why I don't want to do it. I'm here to not support women. I'm actually on this podcast to tell you two to get the fuck out of show business
Wow.
right now. That's why I'm here.
I don't know why I rooted for that.
Yeah,
It's just fun to hoo-hoo.
Yeah,
it's
it
fun
is.
to. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah,
But
I didn't say anything.
he was telling us about it, and me and Jessie, when we both held our breath when he was like, yeah, and he was like, so good, and we were like, oh, thank God. Because anytime women do something for the first time, you just like, God, please be good, which I'm sure like other races have that experience too.
Yeah.
You just like,
When did women? What was the first election women voted in?
It's got to be like Hoover. I mean, it's like 1912 or something.
Could
Yeah,
you
like,
imagine
did they
if
get it
was, like,
right?
now and all the women voted for
Trump.
Trump?
Which it was
kinda
like
was, wasn't
like
it?
so many. It was white women. I think it was that's who could first vote. So yeah, that probably would have happened.
They're like, why'd we do
That'd have
it?
been fucked up.
It was like 19th Amendment or
1920.
What amendment was
That would
that?
have been Warren G. Harding.
Yeah. What a fucking.
Was he
cunt.
good?
You want to talk about a president I know zero about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
know
was
more about
gonna-
the rapper Warren G. than I do about Warren G. Harding.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever heard that name before, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. But although I can't, I used to know every president's name because there was like some kind of song or some shit, and I memorized it when I was a kid. But now I feel like I know like 10 presidents.
Yeah.
I really do.
Hey, the guy who lost in the first election that women could vote in, his last name was Cox. So
Well,
he didn't stand a chance.
couldn't
Women
win,
hate
yeah.
Cox.
he
Women against Cox.
couldn't win.
Whack.
Whack. Those were the signs.
Yeah, no, I do really hope there is a lot of pressure on whoever the first woman president is. I want every time a woman runs, it's mostly Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
But like
Liz Warren.
yeah, it's like I'm like, oh, I want them to win, but like also I also want to wait for like the perfect one.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I need the first woman president to be great.
Sure.
You know, not just good, fucking great.
What if Bernie Sanders transitioned?
Ooh, I know. This is what I think is gonna happen. I really think it's
That
gonna.
would be insane.
You think
I don't think Bernie's gonna transition, but I'm like, part of me is like, I wonder if it is gonna be a trans woman. It's
that
gonna be like
honestly,
a weird,
that
like,
would be
middle ground.
A Republican
hilarious.
trans woman.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
then-
Caitlyn Jenner.
And then there would be all those debates like that they have like for women or trans women in sports. They're gonna be like, but
Yeah.
there's just like an asterisk.
Yeah.
God, yeah, that would be something.
I mean, not that I don't have any issue with it whatsoever, but I think
Of
it would
course.
muddy the waters.
No, nobody here has issues with a trans woman being anything.
No, not at all.
It would you know what?
I
think
guarantee
it would
you,
be
if a
great.
trans woman was president, I would hate her because I've hated every president ever. So.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I got
Not-
nervous.
Hang
for a
on to that sentence.
You haven't liked one. You haven't liked one president.
No, not one.
Brian's
I mean, in your lifetime, I get,
he's a
No.
but just like
he's just
Zero.
one of these
Never.
guys who thinks it makes him cool. He's
Yeah.
just not. He's
It's no, I'm not. It's my true belief.
Yeah,
okay,
it's your
all right.
belief because you believe in being cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What president do you like, Jesse?
I like.
Ronald Reagan, probably. I mean, come on. Ronald Reagan was pretty cool.
He was so charming.
He was charming.
JFK.
Come on. JFK.
JFK.
Rapist.
You can't-
But pretty
Was
cool.
he a rapist?
Oh, everybody before Obama, rapist. Literally everyone before Obama and then after Obama.
I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
It's literally everyone before and after.
everyone but Obama.
True. I really think, and I think Obama was not even necessarily that he's like a great guy. I think he was a genuinely, like, it was an accident that he became president sort of thing.
He seems very normal.
They worked him into the machine. He became part of the machine eventually. But I think there's some overlords that brought him in. I really do think that.
Because
Now this is turning to Brian and I's
'Cause-
podcast.
here's the thing about being president is you have to be crazy to want that power.
Yeah, you need to
and
be a
he,
psychopath.
He does seem like the most normal guy that wanted that power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He was a great speaker though and a great leader.
Oh,
like I
fun.
felt like he's leading the country. Like
Yeah.
everyone was
Yeah.
excited to hear him talk, and
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's just like, ugh, this guy again.
Yeah.
One time I had a dream he adopted me, and Michelle was pissed.
Oh yeah.
She was like, she was like, you can't adopt a grown woman.
Yeah.
You know? And he was like, why not? And she was like, because you're going to fuck her.
Yeah. The undertones there were that
He
was gonna
didn't fuck
you.
me. I wanted him to.
Sure. Everybody wants Obama to fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I
There's
would kiss
something about
Obama.
it.
No problem.
Like even now that he's like gone through all the stress and he's weathered and that kind of stuff.
awesome.
Now it's just like this distinguished,
Yeah.
powerful. He's got like a quiet confidence.
Remember when
Fuck the
it
shit
was
out of Obama.
Hillary and
So
Trump?
hard.
And it was Hillary and Trump debating, and Hillary was like, "You raped all these people," and Trump was like, "Well, your husband raped all these people."
Yeah. He had him sitting in the front row.
Yeah, I was like, "What are we watching?"
Yeah.
That was one of the wackiest things
It was
ever.
so stupid.
Could you imagine?
It's like, you guys are both right. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
Could you imagine if a woman didn't get something because their husband raped someone?
Yeah, I know, that's really funny. It is so funny that he did that. That it was like, your husband raped somebody, so you don't deserve something.
But he got 2 terms.
Yeah.
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 Because she stayed with him.
Yeah. Wow.
That's why they were all mad. Like, I always thought, when Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce,
Yeah.
and then she gave us Lemonade.
Yeah.
Like, she stayed with him, but she was like, this is how I feel about it, though.
Wait,
Yeah.
but
Hillary,
were there?
she never did that.
were
If
there-
Hillary gave us, like, a Lemonade,
Yeah.
I feel like we'd be like, she's fucking cool.
Yeah, you're right. I
Well,
like
but
that.
Lemonade wasn't about Jay-Z raping someone.
No, just the cheating, because
Yeah.
I was thinking back with the Monica Lewinsky
Right.
thing. And
Yeah.
Well, because
cheating, but-
I mean, you can't assume that the wife knew, right?
She
yeah,
absolutely.
she knew.
I knew when I was
She knew?
6.
Yeah,
And she knew eventually. She knew when the whole country knew.
No, she knew that she was being cheated on, but I mean, like all the creepy stuff.
No, that came out in the 80s, but when he was
Yeah.
governor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Before he was even.
People just didn't care back then.
No, Paula Jones
Yeah.
It was
and.
swept
People were
under the
like,
rug.
"Oh, he's cool." Like, it's-
Yeah.
He smokes
Yeah.
pot and plays
Yeah, yeah.
saxophone.
There was a rumor he was fucking Elizabeth Hurley while he was president.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, he was fucking like not just.
I mean, that's
cheating.
not creepy though.
No, not creepy. You're right.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But he
Huge
had some
crush
creep.
on her.
I'd fuck Elizabeth Hurley for sure.
It's just
Still hot, by the way.
Remember that movie? What was it? Bedazzled?
Yeah.
Did you ever
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that?
yeah.
That was the
It-
first thing I saw.
It wasn't
her in.
Bedazzled, was it?
Oh.
She plays like the devil.
She
or
plays the
something.
devil.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is.
Is it Bedazzled?
I think
Yeah,
so. I
she's
think
super
that's
hot
what
in that
it's called.
movie.
With Brendan
Yeah.
Fraser.
Brendan
Yeah, yeah.
Fraser. Yes.
That's the first movie I saw her in.
Yeah.
I think I was.
Man.
Was she in Austin Powers?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my
And
first
I watched the Pam and Tommy thing on Hulu, and apparently Pam was up for the role.
of the one that whatever that.
I think it was for the second one, actually, now that I'm...
The Heather
The Heather
Graham.
Graham. got
Graham.
it.
Yeah.
But it could have been... I think it was Elizabeth Hurley, because at least in the Hulu show, everybody was like, who's that? Because she lost the role after the tape got leaked, and it was supposed to be Pam Anderson, and then she's like, I don't know, it's someone named Elizabeth Hurley.
These are peak beat off years for me. We're talking about right here.
All right, calm down.
Well, I'm not gonna just start beating off now. Relax. I'm calm.
There's nothing I love.
Back then, couldn't even said those names.
Yeah, because that's pre-porn,
Oh my god.
I mean, porn was there, but not
Not for
nearly,
you guys.
not for us.
Yeah.
No. I used to have to. The closest thing I got to porn in my youth was American Pie, the unrated version, and I
Right.
would pause that VHS every single time.
Yep.
And I'd go to
Right.
bed.
I think the unrated version of a movie was like the first. I forget what it was. What the first unrated version of a movie it was, but it was like, ooh. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
got-
Was it that
I
Saved
got
by
to
the
see
Bell
some
strip
stuff.
movie?
No.
Oh,
you
you're
think
talking
about- yeah.
not Saved by the
No,
Bell, but
yeah.
the lady who goes.
Yeah. Ugly Coyotes or
No.
what?
No.
Strip.
It's some.
Is it called Stripper?
It was. I mean, it was a comedy. It was some. It was some kind of comedy, and I
Strippers.
forget which one it was that I saw.
Dance something.
Wasn't Coyotes?
Showgirls.
Showgirls. No, it was Showgirls.
No, but that's not what she was
Oh
talking
no,
about.
I meant the first unrated movie that you see is usually kind of the first, like
Oh.
I
the
see it.
first glimpse of just getting to see naked people and shit.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Mine was What was yours? Do you
My,
remember?
I can't remember. It was a comedy. It was. I don't remember which comedy though. Maybe it was 40-Year-Old Virgin. No, I don't remember. But it was that and like an unrated movie, and then Girls Gone Wild stuff.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the commercials.
Yeah.
I used to order all the. When I was younger, I would order. This is so me, and I didn't even realize it until now. But I would order naked news.
Yeah.
The naked news was just like it was like one of those deep direct TV channels,
Oh.
and you could hit
Yes.
play and you would order it, and it would just be like a chick telling you the news, but then undressing.
Because you wanted to learn while getting her out.
Was it? Wait, was it like news, like about people getting murdered and shit?
Yeah, I'd be like, yes, sir, Arafat and Benjamin Netanyahu broke bread today. It's
I
just
mean,
taking
if you're gonna get delivered depressing news,
It's
Yeah.
true.
why not that way?
what a
But
great way to get a hard on when you hear about like the IRA assassinating Margaret Thatcher or something. It's
then
so
then
weird.
some kind of like Pavlov's dog thing happens to
Yeah.
your dick, and now you just like get hard for tragedy.
Yeah, newspapers just get you hard.
You may have just described my life, actually.
Yeah.
Think
Hard
about
for
it.
tragedy should be your special.
those
That's
are
why I like it.
That'd be
Bad
great.
wires to cross.
Horny for tragedy.
Really bad wires across. Although I do like that Fox News was like, what if we just basically did that?
Right.
Well, that's basically people are horny for tragedy. People
Yeah.
are like that's what it is, and that's why people like those shows that are just. I was just watching this show. I forget what show it was, but it was like triggering. Like I was getting triggered, and I was like, why do I keep watching this even though it's making me feel terrible? And then but it's a thing, like that's a thing that people do. They like it's like self-harm.
Oh yeah,
but
Schadenfreude.
what's that?
They have a German word for it, Schadenfreude. Like you watching other people's tragedy.
Yeah.
It just makes you. It's like why I love pedophile hunters.
And then it,
That sounds like a great show.
I was about to say sometimes it makes you feel like you're going through it. Like if I watch like anything about, like someone getting raped, like I feel like and maybe it's just because I've gone through versions of it, but like I feel it. Like I feel, and so when you watch Pedophile Hunters, do you feel like you're being pedophiled?
Other way around. I go, wow, I really feel like I'm a pedophile right now. How awesome. What an awesome virtual reality experience. No, I do think I watch those things, and it's the, at least I'm a horrible person, but at least I'm not here. That's what I get out
Yeah.
of it. And that's what I think a
Sure.
lot of people get out of it,
Sure.
which is at least I'm not that guy.
Pedophiles just make you feel better about yourself.
You go, wow.
I like that you have to go as deep as pedophiles to find someone who's not as bad as you,
I
because
think
that's
even the-
pretty much the worst you can get.
It's really bad.
Even the hunters probably make you feel better about yourself.
That's very true. Even
Yeah.
It's a Godzilla versus King Kong sort of thing where I'm like, I hate all of you. If all of you died right now, it would be good.
Yeah, I don't think there's one podcast I've done with Ramsey where we haven't talked about pedophiles.
Yeah, I have a well, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah. Did you say you have were you about to say you have a YouTube channel?
Well, I have a
Why don't you start one? Why don't you start a pedophile hunters?
I already have started one. It's called
Wait.
Talking Peds.
You start. No, I mean like
Oh.
where you trap pedophiles.
No, I'm doing a show on YouTube these days, which is a weekly wrap up show of all the pedophile hunters. It's called Talking Peds.
Wow.
It's great. Yeah,
I think the next step is you just really
Becoming
diving
one?
in.
Yeah, can you rent out this room for
I feel like
genius pedophiles?
Yeah.
you have to do like under
Or just
like
keep them in the closet?
Yeah, I just have to make fresh iced tea. Isn't that like in the show?
Yeah.
Isn't there always iced tea on the table?
Sure, if you're from the early 2000s. We've updated our methods now. Now you go to Walmart.
Oh, okay.
You always get them to go to Walmart. That's the move.
you got to really immerse yourself in the experience, and
Yeah.
that's the next step.
I just
think.
can't do that to a guy, even a pedophile.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I just go, oh, come on, dude. You're not
I
gonna
mean-
count a guy on his bad day like that.
I think we've talked about this, but it's kind of like just taking an addict and waving drugs in their face, like, here, you want it, and
I
then
agree.
being like, you're a terrible person.
I
You
agree.
know, like,
I
it's-
fully agree.
yeah, because like
It's a disease.
It's a disease. Because do they reach out to them?
They always reach out first. Here's the thing. They put themselves in a situation. They'll create fake Instagrams and they'll be. This is what's weird about it is that the hunters got to be like, what are some hot ass pictures for a child that I can put up online? It's a bit odd.
They don't even pick like just people who look young but aren't.
It's
Because I feel like in the like, I was about to say the legitimate one.
yeah.
In the actual, what was it called? The one
To
with,
Catch a Predator.
To Catch a Predator. They used like decoys that were not children, right?
Yeah, but they were like young looking. So
Yeah.
remember when Larry Nasser got in trouble for doing the gymnastics thing?
Yeah.
Apparently gymnastics is a big pedophile thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what these guys do a lot of times is they create like profiles for young girls who look like they do gymnastics. So they pull off like gymnastic pictures
Yeah.
and they bait them with this, which is unfair to me. I go, come on.
Unfair?
I mean, it's not
In what way?
it's just like you're really
Pray tell her.
you're really hurting these guys.
I think I caught one.
Ramsey, would you like some iced tea?
Yeah. It's actually,
No. You
we
know
actually
I'm not.
brought you here today.
I know what you mean. I know
Jesse
what you
was
mean.
actually our decoy.
Yeah. I'm 31, asshole.
I'm a pure MILF guy. I've made it very clear in my own right. It's MILFs and MILFs only.
How old of MILFs?
50 plus.
23.
I like
Because I really do think some guys that are like, yeah, I like 30-year-olds, like MILFs. It's
Yeah,
like,
Yeah. No,
Fuck you.
I'm like 45 and up.
yeah, you just changed your number.
That's
You thought about it. You're like, 50's too high.
No, 50. I'm okay with 50.
So really, you're 45 to 50 because you thought about it and you're like 50's too high.
It's 28.
It's
I'm okay with 50. I'm okay with 50.
Right,
I'll go
yeah.
up to the GILF category sometimes.
yeah. Instead of barely 18, you go for barely 50.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
My grandmother was literally a gilf in her 30s.
A gilf? I never heard that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandma too, because I had a young grandmother. and
Yeah, 15.
My grandma was hot, dude. She was stacked.
Nifty over 50.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, how old was she? Yeah, she's probably 52. No. She was like in her 40s when I was born.
Oh.
But yeah, she was hot, blonde, stacked. Man, I feel bad talking about her about that. Like
This seems positive,
this
though.
about her
Yeah.
because she's bless her memory. But
Yeah.
she was hot.
I think she would love to hear that you were saying this about her on a podcast.
Probably. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, she put a lot of effort in. She would always be like, you should wear more makeup, like, and not in like a shitty way, and like she was a woman in the 50s, and they just thought like, oh, you should put effort into your looks every day because
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson make your bed.
Something.
You know? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? I do think that is something.
It
like
is.
I think that not just with the make your bed, but as far as like if I'm depressed, if I go, okay, I'm just gonna get ready for the day, like I'm gonna put on makeup, I'm gonna do my hair and whatever, then I feel like, okay, now maybe I should go out because I'm ready for the day,
Right.
and now maybe I should do this. Whereas if I didn't, I would just like stay inside. Because if I'm not wearing makeup, if I'm like in my sweats and someone goes, hey, you want to do this thing? I'm going to go, well, then I have to get ready, you know? And if you go past like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. without getting ready, you're fucked.
Dude, I remember when I was a teacher, I was talking to one of my students' parents, and he was an addict, and he was like, I know every day if I make my bed, I'm not going to use again. And in just my mind, I was like, you're such a loser.
Oh my God.
Like, I just remember being like, what a fuck. Because I was 23. I didn't.
You were high at the time.
Yeah. Oh, for sure I was. But yeah, that AA talk, I always want to throw those people off a fucking mountain.
I started doing that, and I get so mad because I'll make the bed, and then like my boyfriend doesn't give a shit that I made the bed, and he'll still go take a nap, and he'll just like and I'm like, what are you, crazy? I made the bed. And he's like, you can make it again. I'm like, you can make it again. And he's like, I don't care if it's made. So
dude, my dog would just jump up and fuck my bed up if I make it. Just thrash it.
Same, but my dog will like I go making the bed and she'll jump off and she'll just put her head on the bed and she'll just look at me like, please, can I get back on the bed?
See, having a dog is probably better for depression than
It
making
is.
your bed.
Yeah,
It's gotta be,
I've
yeah.
gone to like hiking. Like since I got her, I go up and hike up Griffith, and then I write in my journal for like a half an hour.
Forces you out in
Hell
the
yeah.
sunshine, forces you to some exercise.
She's getting exercise. I'm getting exercise.
Yeah,
I played soccer for like 45 minutes today with Joni.
Yeah, your dog will like
Hell
bounce
yeah.
the ball. And
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. She legitimately dribbles the ball and plays
Fucking
soccer.
Airbud.
She put it into the goal 4 times today at the soccer park.
That's so badass.
That rules.
Yeah.
Getting sunshine is so important. Some vitamin D.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just you
Yeah.
gotta just get out. Like sometimes I'm like I want to die, and then I go for like a 5-minute walk, and then I'm like, oh, I feel normal now.
You have a cap full of water.
Like, it's
Yeah, I was gonna say that and water.
crazy how much like it turns it around. That I'm like, Jesus, like it just go outside for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you journal?
I do. I journal every single day.
That's good. I was like, I feel like journaling is really important for you specifically.
yeah. I honestly.
You just
It's fair. It's
you
a fair
gotta
thing.
get you gotta get all the things in your brain out onto paper.
It's totally
you know?
fair. I only recently started though. I only started maybe like 3 weeks ago.
I feel so much better after.
Do you read it back?
No, but
Good.
I try to sometimes because I mix in like joke working and journaling, and
Yeah.
so like I try to go back, but I just don't have time because I keep journaling. So it's
Yeah.
like,
I punch up my journal. Yeah, I'll read back, make it a little funnier.
Well, I think you can
you for real?
No.
You're like today it's something
you
traumatic
can read,
happened.
you can read
Nah,
it
nah,
back like you can read it back like months later, but if you read it back right after you write, it just makes you more depressed.
Right.
Yeah.
It is a good way to identify patterns, though.
Yeah,
Just
well,
to
if
review
that's
it.
why you read it back later,
Yeah.
like much later. But the first time I ever journaled, I read it back, and then I was like, "Yeah, life is hopeless." Like, you're right, Nicole.
My mom was talking to me about something cool just the other day about how your ego is like a repeater, and so if you say you know, everything sucks, then your ego is just gonna be like, yeah, everything sucks. Yeah, it does suck. It really sucks,
like-
and it
Yeah.
just keeps going like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to like, especially right before I go on stage, because I get like really nervous, and so I've been I literally think, and I'm embarrassed to even share it, but I think like, you're funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're
Like, we all have to
talented,
do shit like
you're
that.
Oh,
confident,
100%.
Yeah.
And then I just like feel it like orb out, and then I try to do that journaling too, where at the end of it I try to just list positive qualities and just
I'm all about
That's
that.
why Ramsey and I changed our podcast name from Worst Hour of the Week every Tuesday on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. We changed it from Worst Hour of the Week to the Brian and Ramsey Show.
You guys have both now used this podcast to plug your podcast.
Hey, at least I was shameless about it, though.
Listen,
But
we'll
yeah, no, I got to get away
always be
from
promoting.
branding everything as the worst. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Just that subtle little thing of just it really is like the ego thing is really, that's an interesting way to put it. I never really thought of it that way.
I never thought of it that way either. I've always kind of known that. I feel like we all innately know these things, but that was a nice metaphor to describe it.
It's also why, like, I think talking to other people about the way you're feeling is really important, because if you're just like thinking in your head all the time, like you're just having a conversation with yourself, whereas when you say something out loud to another person, it's different. It's like the way when you think of a joke and you're like, oh yeah, that's gonna crush, it's gonna be so funny, and then you do it and you say it out loud and everyone looks at you in silence and you're like, oh, that was not as funny as I thought. It's like that.
Yeah.
But like with sad thoughts, like you say them out loud to a person and they're like, yeah, big deal, so this happened, who cares?
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, it isn't a big deal. Like, you know what I mean? So it's important. But I think
Yeah.
journaling is also really important. And I'll say I do embarrassing shit like that all the time. No, I don't think it's embarrassing at all. I think what I do is embarrassing, which is listen to rap music in my car and pretend like I relate to it. Like, because I do, in the same way that you watch TV and feel like that's happening to you, I will be listening to rap and be like, yeah, I grew up in these streets and now I'm at the top.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
You get pumped
it's not
up.
my life story, but it is now.
It's why everybody listens. That's honestly why everybody listens to rap. It's called
Yeah.
the confidence transfusion. I've heard of it before.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you get it, you absorb it.
You see somebody being great, and it helps you to be great.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
something we all.
I used to listen to Eminem before every show.
If you are you a meditator? You're a meditator, right?
Yeah.
If you really, I'm not really. I just started trying. It's hard. It's a hard thing for me to do.
There's so many different kinds. You got to find the right kind.
But you
for
sit there and you just go, I'm gonna chill and like just meditate or whatever. And you do see everything that pops up, and you realize like what gets trapped in your consciousness, and you start to realize like so. If you do listen to something like whatever Eminem, something more somebody speaking so grandiosely about themselves, it stays in your consciousness, and you sort of. But if you do the opposite, if you're listening to garbage all day or you're doing something, you will. I noticed when I started, like I would just be sitting there, and then just somebody's post that I hated would pop up in my brain.
Oh,
I'd be like,
yeah.
oh my God, this is deeply lodged in me.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's bullshit sketch
Yeah, you're like,
is in
get
my
out
head.
of my head. Yeah.
And that means I'm walking around with this.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
don't even realize it.
And then, it's when stupid things bother you, you kind of put it out of your brain because you're like, that's a stupid thing to bother me. But really, if you look at it, there is a deeper reason why that stupid thing is bothering you. So you shouldn't put those stupid things out of your head. You got to pay attention
Analyze it.
to because those are the things that are going to bring up stuff. Because when a really big thing happens, of course it's going to make you upset. But like when a small stupid thing happens and you go off for no reason, that's something that's deep-seated issues that you need to address.
Yeah,
you know?
I've been trying to think like that, but with feelings. Like, why does something make me, especially because I just quit smoking too, so I'm pissed off all the time.
Me and
But like
you.
something will just like take me off, and I'll just like I could feel it in my wrists, like just like anger or something. I'm like, why am I having this reaction?
You
And
feel
then-
your anger in your wrist.
Oh yeah, like in my blood. Do you guys
Yeah.
ever feel that?
I have, yeah.
I
It's
don't
like-
carry it at my wrist, but everybody carries it somewhere
It's
different.
interesting.
Really?
My
I
therapist-
just realized that.
My therapist will always be like, where do you feel it
Yeah.
in your body? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. So I always just say
Yeah.
my heart. I don't know. Like every time it's my heart.
You quit smoking cigarettes or weed?
Cigarettes.
I quit smoking weed 2
I
weeks
also
ago.
don't smoke weed much, but
Weed gave me that. Cigarettes doesn't give me that feeling, but when I quit weed, I started having, because what happens is when you smoke cigarettes or weed or whatever your drug is, you're always able to swallow whatever that feeling
Yeah.
that you're always feeling
it's
is.
like a religion or like a coping mechanism. It's all
Yeah.
psychological.
It's a lie. You're lying to yourself. You're just sitting there, whether it's a cigarette or drinking, or you're just going like, I'm okay with what's happening right
Yep.
now. And you swallow it, and then that all just festers inside of you. But when you're not doing it, you're actually forced to deal with it. It's a very challenging feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, a friend of mine who smokes was like, you know what it is? Like, I realize I can only deal with life like 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Smoke cigarettes? No, that's interesting.
I was trying to make
Cigarettes
sure
are-
the next guest wasn't here, so I was like, I hope I didn't say what you just said.
We got to have like a distinction between smoking cigarettes or weed because they're such different things that I'm
Yeah.
like, which one is your friend?
Right. But like, what? Oh, cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
So
yeah.
smoking cigarettes, it's really like taking a break and you're almost meditating. You're going outside. You're
breathing,
doing
yeah.
breathing exercises. You're going outside, usually getting vitamin
Away.
D.
You're
Everybody
getting
leaves-
away.
You're getting
Yeah.
away from people.
like a
Everybody leaves you
timeout.
alone, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a very meditative process, and I wish there was. I mean, that's what they try to do with vapes, I guess. But I wish there was like an actual not killing yourself way of doing that. I guess just going outside and doing breathing exercises.
Yeah, meditating
But I
is
think
kind
like
of that.
I've been kind of looking back at
that's
like
gay.
my past and like what situations, like why am I set off like this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my dad used to date this girl and she would make me rub her feet when I was like a kid, and I like hated that and like being forced. And now I have this roommate where like I don't like living with him, but I have this like visceral reaction to it. And I think it's because as a kid I couldn't stand up to this person I was forced to live with. And And so now when like there's something with the roommate that I really don't like, I get so mad. And then I'm like, okay, maybe that's from this. And now instead I would just go smoke and be like, fuck that guy. Yeah. But now I like journal and I've been doing a lot of work like that. So I think that's a healthier option than the smoking. Like, why are you reacting like that? But I don't know if it ever stops.
No, that's a really interesting. The other thing with smoking too is that the thing that drives you miserable about is that it increases your craving all day long. And that's really where a lot of misery lies too, is like the constant craving for something else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, oh, this is going to be better once I get this.
Food sex.
Yes. All addictions. All addictions are just this pure craving. That's why they're all miserable.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's just, I don't know why I guess because I'm in my 30s, I know people in their 30s, but every podcast that comes through here now is all about self-help and healing. And I'm what are we even perfecting ourselves for? The grave? Who gives a shit? Eat a cake.
Happier life.
Eat a fucking cake. Smoke some weed.
But I mean, to be fair, most of this podcast is shirtless Tom and talking about pedophiles. So,
Brian,
you know what? God forbid we talk about something that could improve someone's life every once in a while.
No, I like Brian's presence on this podcast. It reminds me of the petty voice that I have in my head when I try to improve myself.
No, it's true. I think
if
we
you
all
want
have
more,
that.
you should check out Brian and Ramsey's podcast.
We all have that like self-help is gay voice
Of course.
in our head.
It's the voice that holds you back.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I think now it's becoming more acceptable. Like now it
sure is.
It's like it's become a thing where people are posting online like so many female comedians I know are like post everyday stuff from like psychiatrists on Instagram or whatever, and it's just like quotes from about like taking care of yourself, and I love it because I need those reminders and stuff, but I think that's become a lot more acceptable, and it's good because I used to be really embarrassed about meditating, about like anything like that. I was so embarrassed when I learned transcendental meditation. Like I was like, oh, this is such woo-woo fucking bullshit. And but now when I say it, people are like, oh cool, yeah, I do that too. Or like, it's become a lot more accepted and not like, oh, it's gay.
I'm finding myself, I'm embarrassed of everything. That's kind of my biggest problem. I'm embarrassed of like meditating. I'm embarrassed of stand-up. Like whenever I do stand-up, there's a small part of me that's like, what an embarrassing thing that you do.
I'm embarrassed to do stand-up too.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But it's actually not. It's just, you're just an embarrassed person. It's like if everything embarrasses you, I don't know if the problem is the world or if it's you,
I think we're all run by shame.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're all, because when you're a kid, you're unbridled. Nothing, because you're a child, you have a blank brain. You don't know to be embarrassed by stuff until someone goes, ew, you do that? Or like, and so then the more people you get when you're a kid going, like, why do you do that? Then the more shame you live with in your head, or like the more your parents are like, no, don't do that. No, this is bad. This is bad. The more when you're an adult, you just like feel shame with everything you do, and it's just crushing.
Shame is good though.
I agree.
It can be a healthy amount of shame. You have to have. You have to, or else we would all just be, running around like animals.
Like Gwyneth Paltrow.
I have tons. Look, I have tons of shame, and I want to tell you that I think I agree. But all the people I know who are super happy and super successful have no shame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shame is if you have a lot of it, that's what a lot of depression.
And how do you know
from.
they're happy?
Well, I'll tell you this: they're having a more. I sometimes will swap out happiness and fulfilling with the same thing. They're having a much more fulfilling experience than I feel like I am in life. They're going and they're doing a bunch of shit where I'm like, isn't it embarrassing though that you just did that thing? And they're like, no, why would it be embarrassed? Like I like doing this.
I get angry at people with no shame.
Me too.
I get actively angry, and then I realize it's because, I want to do that, but I am not because I have too much shame.
Yeah.
I feel it's like a compass.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you should always walk around with shame, but if you feel it, maybe that should direct you
It can
somewhere
tell you
else.
something.
Yeah.
Certainly, it can tell you something.
Unless
Yeah.
you're a woman, you should always walk around with shame.
unless you're wearing a hijab.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have to be, if you're a woman,
All this stuff is
Shame on you.
great for your personal life, but I
Yeah.
do think that these trends we're talking about contribute to why we live in the least funny era of humanity.
Yeah, don't bring it on stage.
It's just that
Unless it's
we've
funny,
never been a
like-
less funny place.
I
Well,
think
not just
agree
that,
with
it's also political stuff. Like everyone wants to get political and talk about just be silly. Just be
Yeah, yeah.
silly, you know?
I don't think listen, part of me really wants to fight Brian right now. Not fight physically, but like that voice, I hear it. It's in me all the time, and it's the voice that I hate the most. I don't think we're necessarily the least funny time ever. It's just, you're just hearing the most amount of opinions that you've ever heard in your, you know what I mean? Like, how is it possible that we're in
Brian
the
was
least...
a huge fan of 80s comedy.
Well, we
That's
also,
what I'm saying. Like, it was a
Really?
horrible... I was
Also, you're-
watching old comedy recently, and it's like, this is dog
well,
shit.
it just doesn't hold up a lot of
Yes.
times.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you got like Dave Letterman in the 80s with
But
some of the
that's
funniest
what
shit
that's what
ever.
I'm saying is
yeah,
you have
there were some shining stars.
you do
but-
have reverence for things of the past though. Like
Yeah, better
people
be
20
cheesy,
years
man.
from or 40 years from now are going to look back at some of the comics of this time and be like, "Holy shit." You know, like because the old stuff is
but the
old
only-
stuff is profound.
This is the only error. This is the only error I've seen where even the comedians are saying that. Like every comedian, the reason why they're all complaining about how you can't be funny anymore, which is boring, and I'm not
Yeah.
interested in that conversation.
Yeah.
But there's no other generation where they did that. So there's got to be some water.
You
to
don't
that.
think there was another generation where comedians were going, these kids don't know what the fuck is funny. You
Yeah.
get up on stage, you wear a suit. This guy's wearing a t-shirt.
I
Or
can't-
like Lucille Ball,
That's
who
what-
was
yeah.
about to get arrested
Yeah.
for being a
Right. That right wing censorship. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember seeing stand up specials ever growing up where the whole half of the specials are about how you can't say anything anymore.
You didn't
Oh,
have YouTube.
yeah.
Nobody had a special every
I-
10 minutes when you were a kid.
They're
You know what I'm
bringing
saying?
it
You
to
know
the
what I
stage.
You're right.
also
We're in a
think-
golden era.
You know what I also
We're not in a golden
I-
era, but it's different though.
Yeah.
Where there's a YouTube special every 5 minutes now, whereas
Yeah.
before you only saw 9 specials every year maximum. Like,
Right.
it's just we're oversaturated with media, so everybody thinks that they're a certain opinion is most dominated. I can see right now that this is a repeating thing throughout life, and you're going to see it all over again in 10 years.
I also think a lot of those like you're not allowed to be funny anymore people are people that have just aged out of being a good comedian. Like their comedy is outdated and so people don't
I
find
think
them funny
they
anymore.
earned their way out of being comedians. You don't
Sure.
like money,
Yes,
but
right,
the
yes,
bank
yes,
account.
yes.
Yeah. Like
right,
it
they're
doesn't.
not relatable anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have $1 billion, you're not gonna be funny,
Right.
even if you're
Yep.
28.
And
Yeah.
and even things like when you talk about stand-up comedy, it's like we just live in a time now where it's like stand-up comedy is a weird thing because it's like you walk into a room and you try to make a group of people laugh who doesn't know each other or whatever. So you have to be kind of broad. But we now live in a time where people can be like, I just do a podcast where I say the N-word repeatedly and it gets $200 million a month on Patreon. It's like the most specific niche thing on the planet. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just...
And if you want to see that podcast, subscribe to Ramsey's Patreon.
It's just weird. I just think we're in a weird era where we're realizing that there's a lot of niches and a lot of things that used to work don't work anymore.
And there's so much audience. Like, there's room for everyone to have their own audience. This obsession with, like, I don't like what you do, and I don't like that so many other people like it. It's like, just don't watch it.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else. Like,
100%.
It's
Yeah.
just all, I don't know, when people start sharing, did you see this special? Can you believe they said that? It's like, you're just giving them views.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I do believe the funniest people are flawed, impulsive, fucking can't control themselves
Shut the
kind of
fuck
people.
up.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I was
Yeah.
trying to do
Yeah. You're being flawed and impulsive.
Yeah.
And I like it.
People that just start
Yeah.
jacking off in front of women.
I don't want to watch some
That's flawed and impulsive.
I don't want to watch some guy dressed like Russell
flawed
Brand.
and unbridled, you know. No, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy people are hilarious.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Jessie, what do you think is the worst part of being alive?
Other people dying
Yeah.
that you love.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough part.
Honestly, that's not the only thing.
Other
but
people
that's
dying
like,
that you hate is the best part.
yeah, that's like a blessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's like the hardest.
Yeah.
I think about it all the time. I think about like, oh, one day my mom's gonna die. because that's
Yeah, I
just
can't
my
think
anxiety.
about that too long.
It's just my anxiety.
I pushed
My
that
mom
way
is
down.
51. I'm like, someday, fuck, it's coming.
You know what I think about? It's funny. Obviously, I think about my parents, but I also go like, someday I'm gonna open up a newspaper and it's gonna be like Joe Rogan has died. Like it's
Sure.
gonna be a news event.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to also think about. I mean, not that I would be that sad, although I would be sad if Joe Rogan died, but just a weird thing where you're like, not just your parents, but the world that
Yeah.
you know dies. Like
Yeah.
everything that is this guy who was worth $100 million will just die someday. Jeff Bezos, dead.
Yeah.
Elon Musk will die someday before us, probably. Maybe not.
No,
Maybe
he's
not.
rich.
No, not Elon Musk, not Jeff Bezos, but Joe Rogan.
Yeah, when someone's like huge in pop culture and almost represents your era and generation, when they die, you're like, oh, I'm fucking old and my generation is dying out.
Yeah.
And I don't matter anymore. Like, culture is not going to fucking cater
That's how
to
Norm
me.
Macdonald hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one hit me.
Yeah,
Nailed
that's a real
it.
one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think the hardest part of life is?
Oh, you know what? Nobody's ever asked me. I asked this question.
Guest of the year.
I didn't know you asked everybody.
I asked this question. No, but I love that. I'm like, ugh, I feel like someone who just, got asked, how are you for the first time.
Oh
you
my
know?
god.
What do I think is the worst part of being alive? Fuck. I mean, now I'm put on the spot the way I put everyone else on the spot. Anxiety. I mean, which that the anxiety about my mom dying, the anxiety about when I get in a car, I am afraid when anxiety, just everyday constant anxiety
It's
is,
the
I
worst.
think, the worst part of being alive.
You know what
Yeah.
the anxiety of getting somewhere 15 minutes early. That's what kills me. Like if I have
I'm
a
always
set
early too.
and I get there 8 minutes or not even 8. If I get there 20 minutes before, I'm like, I guess I should, I don't know, do crack or visit a massage
Dude,
parlor
I
or
hate
something.
it. I always get there early. It's instilled in me. I remember the moment that I was like, I can never be late again. It was like, and I don't even have to go through it, but like when I learned that I need to be on time or something bad will happen, hence the
Yeah.
anxiety. I like get to shows early now, and because of that, I always get put up first.
But don't you feel anxiety while you're there 20 minutes early, like sitting
Yeah,
around?
I'll go do laps like around the venue.
That's
like,
where you start smoking. That's where you
Yeah,
start doing all
that's
these
when
like
I would
things because
smoke
you're
a
like,
lot.
I got 20 minutes. Like, what am I
Yeah.
gonna do?
So yeah, you gotta like bring a book or something
Yeah.
I masturbate.
That's a good one.
in the car. Or?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the best place to masturbate.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, you said whoa, but I think any other place would have been even weirder.
yeah.
Like honestly,
Like a
No,
bathroom.
in the green room.
a public bathroom.
She blocks the door.
That's better than the car on the street.
At least you know what other asses have been on that car seat.
Well, yeah.
Did you see the blanket I had on the floor of the car? That's why I have a blanket in there. I'm just kidding. It's not.
Why are you a squirter?
I just put it over so
over.
if anyone just happens to
Oh.
look through the window.
They're like,
You're like, I'm just
Sorry.
cold.
they're like she's not.
That's how I clean it up.
To clean up blanket.
Even if I was a squirter, I don't like put my pants all the way down and then just squirt everywhere.
I have to do it on the hood of my car so I can clean it with the windshield
Oh my
wipers.
god. And then you're like, all right, it's time for my show.
I would love that.
Well, Jessie, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Do you have anything you want to plug? Where can people follow you?
At Jetski Johnson at all things.
Yeah.
And every Wednesday at the Comedy Store, we do a door guy show. It's free, so come out and see us.
Yeah,
Up-
go
up
see the door
next.
guys.
Up next.
They're all up and
Yeah.
coming, great comedians. So if you want to be on the cutting edge of knowing comedians, go there. Right,
Oh, yeah.
Ramsey?
I was gonna say some of them have already come.
Ra-
They're not just up anymore.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
come.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Listen to the Brian and Ramsey show. It's the exact opposite of everything I said today.
I know,
Right,
I
right,
felt betrayed.
Couldn't
Yeah.
be the no. Well, it's a different show. I wanted to
It's
bring
a com-
different energy.
It's a completely different
It's
show.
so different.
I don't allow news on this show unless it's like dumb bitch news. you
Ours
know?
is not even news. It's hand wringing. it's 1 hour of guys going like, "Well, we're fucked. Tesla's got us by the nuts."
Well, like if you want like you guys are the yang to our yin. If you want a little yang after this yin, then go watch their show.
Very much so. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun though. It's the most fun you can possibly have while hand wringing.
Yeah. Well, and then subscribe this podcast. You know, I need more feedback because I feel like a dude who like has to ask whether you came after sex. Like I need to know because I don't know how you're feeling during the podcast because I don't have it. I'm gonna try and make more of a thing where there's an interactive thing where people write in. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but stand by. It's coming. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment, do all the things.
Also follow the Everything Hurts Clips channel because that's going to be built.
Oh, is there
now.
a new Clips
channel?
channel?
Yeah. I started making a Clips playlist for you. I'm going to move it over to a Clips channel.
Love it. Brian's doing big things for us. So do that. Follow the Instagram because someone did message the Instagram the other day and just said, they just watched through all the clips and said it was hilarious. I don't think they've watched
That's
the actual
all,
podcast.
the best you can hope for
But he
now.
was like, how do you guys only have 309 followers? And I was like, beats me. Spread the word, dude. You know, spread that word.
Be more popular, that guy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Everything hurts. Everything hurts. Fucking life sucks. Everything hurts.